Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our sporting special tonight. Something a little bit different for you, but very, very exciting. It's the 1981 World Masters Cycle Speedway Championships with riders from Great Britain and Australia competing. And certainly it's the first time that riders from Great Britain have in fact competed in Australia. You'll be seeing such great names as Pip Serbert, the current British champion, Jeff Patman, Ian Gill, Phil Pilbrow, and of course from Australia's point of view, the current Australian champion. He's a great rider in Neil Toy, John Palmieri and Peter Lowry. I must confess it's the first time I've seen this type of sport in action, and the thrills and spills, they happen every moment. Let's now take you for the thrills and spills to the 1981 World Masters Cycle Speedway Championship to the Findon Cycle Speedway.
It came to Australia with the migrant boom of the 50s. A tradition of excitement, of thrills and spills has been built both here and there over the last 30 years. Today, the best of the Britons are in Adelaide to race against the young Australians for the 1981 World Masters Cycle Speedway Championship.
This is the first heat of the open heats. Of course, we have 20 heats. The 4 riders in this: Roger Ellis from Barrier 1 from Great Britain, Martin Gamble from Great Britain also in 2, Rod Witham from Great Britain in 3, and Ian Gill from Great Britain in 4, the youngest member of the Great Britain side. We've certainly seen some thrills and spills here today, but been a very, very exciting day. In the hands of the starters.
Away they go in the first heat, and first away is going to be Roger Ellis, and crowding on the first turn, but one's gone down on his own. A rerun's called, as looks like he might have knocked Ian Gill out a little bit wide there as he went down, and it's Martin Gamble there who's went down on the track. So we have a rerun there.
There's certainly been some thrills and spills, great riding, and of course the top 16 riders here will ride on 5 occasions, and the winner getting the most points will win that magnificent Gold Cup valued at $800. The riders in the hands now of the starter.
Settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go, and once again it's a rerun's call. Somebody's broken the start.
Yes, that particular situation, we had Roger Ellis, of course, coming out of position number 1. He was disqualified from that particular race for breaking the start. And the chief steward here, very, very strict on any rider who breaks the start. As I made mention, we have the top 16 riders competing. They'll each have 5 races, and the points awarded will be 4 for a win, 3 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth. So there'll be only 3 riders in this particular first heat of the Open Championships, and of course the winner getting that beautiful Mazda Gold Cup worth $800. The riders in the hands of the starter.
And settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go, and first away looks like it's going to be Gamble on the inside into the... Gill got into the rerun's being called as Gill got into trouble there, hooked up on another bike, and as you can see, they're all out to win it. And you see some great racing here in this open section.
Riders lining up once more, having another rerun. Martin Gamble from Great Britain in 2, Rod Witham from 3, and Ian Gill from 4. The riders in the starters' hands.
Roger Ellis, of course, being dismissed earlier for breaking the start. Settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go, and as they bounce out the gate, and looks like it's coming from the outside, Gill's taking the early lead, then followed by Martin Gamble, Rod Witham. Gill's in trouble, and Gamble's moving up on the inside. Gill's got his nose in front as they come round the western turn, and regains the lead. Ian Gill in the lead. Second placing going to Martin Gamble, then followed by Rod Witham in third. Going down the back straight, they've sorted themselves out now, and it's Ian Gill by about 4 lengths now in front of Martin Gamble in second placing, and then followed by Rod Witham. 2 laps to go. 2 to go as they pass the judge box on the ROH turn, going down the back straight. Still Ian Gill in the lead there, followed by Martin Gamble in second placing and Rod Witham in third. The yellow flag is out, 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go, and Ian Gill doing it very comfortably on the ROH turn. And a good 4 points going up here as they go around the home turn. The checkered flag coming out, and it's going to go to Ian Gill first, then followed by Martin Gamble second, and Rod Witham in third. Gill, Gamble, and Witham.
Pip Serbert, the current English champion. You came out here last year, Pip, and now you've brought the whole team back with you. I guess you're pretty pleased that you've done it.
Yes, very pleased indeed, yeah. Very much.
The whole tour, how's it gone?
Fantastic, it's been really good. fantastic.
And you yourself, is there a bit more competition there now?
Oh, a lot more competition. It's a lot harder than last year. The lads out here really improved, you know.
The Australian lads have improved?
Yeah, very much so.
They told me that they're starting to change their bikes, change their style of riding to compete with you from the experience that they've had with the test series.
That's right. They're someone told them to train our sort of handlebars and lowering the gears a bit, so you know, it's converting them slowly.
The title, how do you think you yourself will go today?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't like to say.
Who would you like to tip?
Well, Jeff Patman, Roger Ellis, Neil Toy, you know, anyone. Could go either way.
So you think Neil's right up there with the Englishman?
I think so, yeah. Very much so.
The second heat now in the Open finals. Craig Kuzner from Australia in 1. Phil Pilbrow from Great Britain in 2. Colin Sutton, the captain of the Great Britain side, in 3. And in 4, Alan Cox, also from Great Britain, who's rode tremendously well for the Bow Club in London. The riders in the hands of the starters.
Settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go in race 2, and first away looks like Craig Kuzner, then followed by Alan Cox moving on the outside. Here's 2 of them down. It's a rerun called as to Alan Cox and Phil Pilbrow go down. Cox and Pilbrow.
I've never seen so many thrills and spills in all my life. The stewards have called for a rerun, but there's bikes and bodies going everywhere at the moment here. And this has been the pattern of the day. I must confess it's much more comfortable sitting here in the commentary position, but we're certainly seeing some great competitive riding from these fellows from Great Britain, and also young Craig Kuzner, who drew #1 position, then started very, very well. So let's hope he can gain that same start again. Back now for the rerun. The riders almost in the hands of the starter now. What can we expect on this occasion? Obviously more thrills and spills.
Right, settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go, and let's see how they bounce at this time. Oh, and reruns called as Craig Kuzner getting put up on the inside of the track. Rerun called.
Yes, the stewards are talking. I think you'll find that Alan Cox here may be disqualified for breaking the start. It did appear as though Alan Cox, the boy from Great Britain, who was in 4, he's on the outside of the starter now, just getting off his bike. I think you'll find that the stewards conferring. I don't know whether they'll come to that decision, but it did appear as though Alan Cox, yes, he's been pointed, and Alan Cox has been disqualified. Oh, he's not happy. Not happy one little bit, Alan Cox. That exactly as I felt from the steward there when he blew the whistle. So, the other 3 riders now, as Alan Cox walks away in disgust, now getting set to have the rerun of the Open Heat #2.
What shocking luck, Alan. Just a smidgen, and you were put out like that.
Well, that's the 3rd time I've done it in every championship so far, you know. Just too much tension, I think, you know.
You know, the most amazing thing is that you've been getting 4 points, 4 points, 4 points, and then doing something like that.
Yeah, I haven't been beaten in a final yet.
You've yet to be beaten. You do it yourself.
Yeah, and I haven't won anything yet. But I've come 3rd and 4th, you know, but not 1st place yet.
Bad luck, Alan.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Race #3, in #1 position, we have from Great Britain, John Vallis. In 2, we have Jeff Patman, also from Great Britain. At 3, we have Mike Hack, also Great Britain in #3, and the lone rider from Australia in the outside position at #4, Gavin Nugent. This will certainly be a very, very interesting event. The riders almost in the hands of the starter.
Hands of the starter. Away they go in race 3. Let's hope they get past the first corner as Jeff Patman first away. Second placing going to Vallis, and then moving back to Gavin Nugent and Mike Hack on the inside. Round the western turn they come, and on the western turn Mike Hack getting into trouble there. 3 laps to go, and it's Jeff Patman in the lead, then followed by John Vallis in second placing, Gavin Nugent in 3rd, and then followed by Mike Hack. Pretty well spread out now as they move past the judge box, and 2 laps to go. Still Jeff Patman showing the way, then followed by John Vallis in second placing. He's followed by Gavin Nugent and Mike Hack at the rear of the field. On the western turn, the yellow flag coming out, 1 lap to go, positions unchanged. Still Jeff Patman, the current South Australian, or at least the new South Australian champion, going down the back straight with a half a lap to go. Vallis in second placing. Around the home turn they come, and the checkered flag goes to Jeff Patman. Patman first, then followed by Vallis, Nugent and Hack.
Well, Jeff Patman winning that particular award from Great Britain, and he's a gentleman who's won all major awards back home. In second position was John Vallis, also of Great Britain, the 1979 Oxford Grand Prix winner. In 3rd position was the boy from Australia who rode pretty well, Gavin Nugent. And of course 4th was Mike Hack, the other remaining Great Britain rider there in 4th position.
As the state champion, what are your chances, Jeff?
Fairly good, I should think, but the big problem is that I hurt my neck a day or 2 ago, and I fell off again earlier on in the qualifying rounds, and I'm a little bit sore at the moment, so we just have to see how things go, you know.
Who's your tip for this afternoon?
very difficult to say. I just think either Roger Ellis, Neil Toy, and even though Pip didn't say so, I think he's got a very good chance of winning. And of course, I would like to win it as well, but that's the sort of thing that we can just hope for, you know. You know, hope for the best.
In number 1 position, we have John Palmieri of Australia. In 2, we have Phil Serbett from Great Britain, the British current champion. In 3, we have Neil Toy from Australia, who's the Australian champion at the moment. And also in 4, we have Peter Lowry of Australia. This is a very, very interesting race from Australia's viewpoint, with the Australian Open, Neil Toy in the event, and also the British champion, Phil Serbett.
Hands of the starter. Away they go. Palmieri's in trouble, and looks like it's going to go to Pip Serbett first away. Palmieri out with bike trouble on the start, going down the back straight. Serbett then followed by Toy into second placing. Peter Lowry moves it bang to third. Round the western turn, 3 laps to go as they pass the judges' box, and Pip Serbett, the current British champion, in the lead. Then followed by Neil Toy, the Australian champion, in second placing, and Peter Lowry in third. 2 laps to go as they pass the judges' box. 2 to go, and it's still anybody's race with 2 laps down and 2 to go. Serbett then followed by Toy and Lowry in third placing. Coming on the western turn now. It's 1 lap to go. The yellow flag is out. 1 to go. Serbett, Toy, Lowry still the same positions as they go around the ROH turn. Going down the back straight, and it's still Serbett showing the way of the length in front of Neil Toy. A couple of lengths down to Peter Lowry. Here's the checkered flag as they move into it. It's going to be Serbett on the outside from Toy and Lowry.
Well, what a magnificent race that was. Of course, the current British champion, Serbett, winning there from the current Australian champion, Neil Toy, in second position, and third. A great ride by Peter Lowry, also of Australia.
What happened, John?
My cog strip, the teeth on it.
Is that a rare thing to happen?
Lately it's been happening a lot. We've been told to always check our circlet so the cog doesn't come loose and just strip.
And it just happens because of stress and the fact that you put so much into it?
That's right.
Does that put you out of it?
No, I might be able to get up and get second, third maybe, but first I think that's it.
Must make you pretty disappointed at this stage of the event. To scrape into it like that and then have something like that happen right in the gate.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
It should be a beauty so far as Australia is concerned. We have 2 boys competing in it, and of course they'll be riding against 2 of the Great Britain boys. In barrier 1 we have Gavin Nugent of Australia, 2 Neil Toy, the current Australian champion, in 2, 3 Phil Brow of Great Britain, and in 4th position we have Witham, also of Great Britain.
Settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go, and as they bounce out, looks like Neil Toy taking the early lead, and followed by Phil Brow in second placing, and then dropping back into third, we've got Gavin Nugent, then dropping back to Rod Witham. On the western turn, it's the Australian champion Neil Toy in the lead. He's only a length and a half in front of Phil Brow in second placing, and then moving back to Gavin Nugent and Rod Witham. On the back straight now, on the western turn, still Toy, Brow, Nugent and Witham. That's the way they cross the line here with 2 laps to go. On the ROH turn, positions unchanged with still Neil Toy about a length and a half in front of Phil Brow in second placing. The yellow flag is coming out, 1 lap to go. Neil Toy showing the way, followed by Phil Brow. Then moving back to Gavin Nugent and Rod Witham at the rear of the field, a half a lap to go. Phil Brow throwing out the challenge on the inside, coming around the western turn. Both riders in trouble, and it's quickly into the checkered flag, but it's going to go Phil Brow. Good thinking by those 2 riders, regaining very smartly. Toy, Brow, Nugent and Witham. Toy, Brow.
Gee, what a magnificent race that was there. The current Australian champion, Neil Toy, just getting home from Brow of Great Britain. In third was the Australian boy, Gavin Nugent, and 4th from Great Britain, Witham. Well, we see this particular event, which is number 8. Of course, we've got the boy from Australia competing against the 3 Great Britain boys. In 1, Peter Lowry of Australia. In 2, Great Britain, Alan Cox. In 3, Ian Gill of Great Britain. And 4, Patman, also of Great Britain.
Settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go in race 8, and off to a good start now. Looks like it's Alan Cox and Gill coming up. Peter Lowry's got his hand caught in one of the wheels, I think, as he went down very, very heavily.
Well, certainly a crash there by the Australian boy, Peter Lowry. There is a rerun to be effective here, but certainly there's an indication of some of the thrills and spills we've seen for most of the day here. And it's certainly been exciting. Let's hope there's no damage done to the Australian boy's bike there. Peter Lowry coming down very, very heavily, but he appears to be quite okay. Boys lining up once again. Peter Lowry, the Australian boy there, just getting his bike in order. Alan Cox, Gill and Patman. It should be an exciting event as the boys once again, as Peter Lowry having handlebar trouble at the moment, but straightening his bike and now in the hands of the starter.
Settle down, riders. Hands of the starter. Away they go, and as they bounce out the barrier, Patnell, the whistle's gone. Somebody's broken the start, evidently.